I didn't quit initially, but in 2017, in October, the owner of the company came to me. He said, Nikki, everybody's talking about how big and good your business is growing. He said, you're doing so good. He said, I think that's what you need to be doing. He basically fired me.
The man that fired you.
The man that fired me.
Pushed you into your purpose.
Yeah.
You better stop playing with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you still making in the millions?
I am making a million. So 2021, we hit 5 million for the first time.
Look, excuse me, for those of y'all that didn't hear, the producer behind the scenes said, God dog. Welcome to The Dash. You know, The Dash is that tiny line between your life start date and end date. It's your story, the chapters in your book, your journey. Get ready for real conversations with real people telling real stories about the realities of failure, setbacks, and success. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. We're rolling. Let's go. The Dash in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Lady Jade, and welcome to The Dash podcast. You know what I notice? I always go, The Dash. I always do my hand like this when I do this. I don't know why. Anyways, all right, before I introduce you guys to my next guest, who I am obviously really excited to talk to, please do me a favor. I need you to click on the subscribe button. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. It is hard on YouTube to go from like Instagram to YouTube and, you know, switch platforms. So I definitely appreciate the support. I appreciate you watching. I also need that subscribe. I need you to comment, and I need you to share this episode with somebody, especially if it blesses you, okay? But today's guest, her name is Nikki Watson. You guys may have actually seen her on HGTV because she's a television star, but she is a phenomenal interior designer. She stages properties. So, Nikki, thank you so much for being here.
I'm so happy to be here.
Okay, first of all, you better come through with all this black girl magic with these colors popping and everything. I'm here for
I gotta stand out. Yeah. I gotta be here with you. So of course I gotta
okay,
somebody.
So it is so interesting. I have actually known Nikki for a really long time. I just have never. You were the first black stager that I ever met. And what I mean by stager is like, you know, when you go into like the model homes and stuff like that, and businesses that look absolutely amazing, you're like, how they decorate this whole thing? Mm-hmm. That's what you do for a living.
That's what I do. I set them up like a model home. When you fall in love with those models, you go in and you just want to bring your clothes. That's what we do. We want you to fall in love with it instantly. So that's what we do.
And so your gifts and your talents have led you to being on TV.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the name of the show that you're on for HGTV?
So we are on Buy It or Build It with a set of twins, Chris and Calvin Lamont. It aired in May. I think May was the first episode, 6 episodes, and now they are, this is a industry secret, they have just signed for season 2.
What? Yeah. Congratulations!
It's very exciting. So I'll be on in some capacity. I know my company will be still staging the houses, but I will probably be in another role, and you'll see me more on each episode. So I was on the whole season, so I'll be on the whole season.
Did you ever think that what you do for a living would have led you to TV?
Never, ever, ever. Okay. It is blowing me away still.
Well, congratulations. Really, and you know, once the TV doors open, there's so many more opportunities. Nikki is very humble. Nikki, you have made a lot of money. Okay, before we get to how much money you made, I gotta back up, okay?
Yes.
Because how does a black woman get into interior designing in the facet that you did? Because did you always do this?
I did not. So I've always just kind of worked jobs, and I knew I was good at some things. When it came to houses, I'm like everybody else. I would look at magazines and love furniture and like how things looked, and I would do that for other people. So I would dress up my apartment and people come over. Oh my God, it looks so good in here. Can you help me? So I knew I had some sort of talent, but I didn't know how to make money doing that at all. So I just never thought of it as a business. So I was just doing it kind of as a favor for people. And then one day I woke up and was like, hey, I need to be making some money. So that was just kind of a natural thing for me.
Wow. Yeah. You know, I think that's a lot of our problems is like, figuring out what our gifts and talents are, which this was something that obviously, like you said, you did naturally, and then how to make a living doing it.
Yes.
Okay, so when you first started doing this for friends, you know, it's always it's like being a braider. Yeah, for free, doing it at your house or whatever. What type of jobs were you working at that time?
So initially I was working as a flooring rep. So I worked right down the street from here. I worked for a chain of flooring stores. So it's 5 locations, and I just went out and built relationships with realtors and investors and sold them floors. I would go into people's houses, tile, carpet. Yeah, I had samples and be in there measuring and all of that. Really? So that was my first kind of real estate related job. And then I built relationships with all these realtors over the years. And when I decided to start the staging business, they were like my first customers. Okay. So they supported me as soon as I was like, okay, I'm a stager now. I had never done nothing.
She said, I'm a stager now.
I'm a stager now. Call me.
I don't just do floors. I'm a stager now.
I'm a stager. And it did take a little bit. People was looking like, girl, you do floors. You don't do no staging. And it took a little bit for them to know. And so they had to see pictures and, credibility. And even if somebody's trying to get into it, if you take pictures of your own house, that's a portfolio. You start somewhere. You got to just outfits. If you want to be a wardrobe stylist, put you some outfits together, get in front of the camera. And that's your portfolio. So you got to start somewhere to show people that you really know what you're doing.
Yeah, people are visual.
Oh, they want to see. And so that's what I had to do, is kind of prove myself. And then people were just sending stuff to me. Hey, I need some blinds hung at this. They were just thinking of stuff to do. And I built my business that way, of all the people that I already knew. And then they would tell friends, and then the word got out, and it grew.
I love that. Okay, so when you first say, I have a gift, you decided I'm going for it. Well, first of all, did you quit your job?
I did not. I did not quit my job initially.
Okay.
So at the time, my daughters were going, I have a set of twins that were going to college. And I was like, okay, I'll do this on the side just to kind of send them some money down the street, because, they need money. They want to, hey, I need some pizza, or I need a book or something. Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is the way I'll make some extra money to send the money down the street. So I didn't quit initially. But in 2017, in October, the owner of the company came to me. He said, Nikki, everybody's talking about how big and good your business is growing. He said, you're doing so good. He said, I think that's what you need to be doing. He basically fired me.
Wow.
Girl.
Wait. The owner of the flooring company basically was like,
you need to be doing this. He said God told him. I said, God didn't tell you that.
I need my check.
I need my check. And he was serious.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did you take him for his word, or did you think that, so in other words, like, did you think like God really told him this, or were you almost kind of offended, like this is just your excuse to push me out? I had both reactions. So he is a very Christian man. The company is Christian owned. He used to have a sign when I first started working there that when you walked in the Duncanville location, it said need prayer. So he would come downstairs from his office and pray with people. So I knew he's a godly man. Right, I knew that from day one. Yeah.
And when he said that, I was like, maybe he did tell you that, but I'm not ready. So I took the other side of my reaction was, you letting me go. This is not a party, don't throw me no going away party, which he said he was. You're firing me. This is what? That means you let me go. You're serious. This is the end of this. And a lot of that had to do with, I was very loyal to the company. So I had done work for them for 10 years. I had built their business. A lot of times we went through a real bad real estate market where if it wasn't for the business I brought in, they wouldn't have any business at all. So I felt like I was responsible for a lot of that. So I was offended. Like, oh my God, you let me go. There's no way that I'm not doing a good job here. What are you thinking? So I was really hurt by it. It was almost like a death because I was hurt because I was losing something that I'd been a part of for this long. So it took me a while to get over that hurt feeling, but he was right. So that was October 2017. That was my last day at work, October 1st. So I go on October 1st, 2018, I start looking at numbers. And this was coming around to Thanksgiving time, November the next month. And I'm looking at numbers and I'm like, oh my God, I'd almost made $1 million in a year.
You see that house frozen? You made almost $1 million.
$975,000 in staging sales from October to October. And I'm telling you, I don't even know how that, of course, God, but I didn't know how I got into that place. And when I saw those numbers, I just start crying. I called him immediately and I was like, thank you so much. Because you saw that in me and I didn't see it in me.
The man that fired you.
The man that fired me.
Pushed you into your purpose.
Yeah.
You better stop playing with me.
Yes, ma'am.
So you were literally mourning this like a death.
I'm talking about I didn't get out of bed for some days because I felt like, oh, these people left me.
They rejected you. Yeah.
They just left me.
And they took my paycheck, my promised money from me.
Yes.
Made you go out there, pursue your passion, pursue your purpose.
Make it happen.
And you didn't even realize you were making as much money as you did, and you made $1 million in a year. Girl! Nikki.
Girl. Yes.
Look at God.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Okay, so hold on. I'm fixing a pocket watch real fast. So from October 2017 to 2018, almost $1 million. Let me see, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Yeah.
You rich, girl.
I can say that business has been really good. These crazy, the pandemic.
Yeah.
I've heard a realtor say the other day, I think she's been on the show before. She talks about the pandemic being the bandemic.
Yeah.
Girl, people made some money.
Oh, yeah. I hated that I wasn't a real estate agent during the pandemic. Like, when I tell you, the market is and still going.
Still going.
Do you hear me?
It is a great time to be
Do you think I have
anything.
not thought about getting off the radio? Like, I get off at 10. What time can I take my real estate classes? Okay.
You can take them from home. It's online.
Look, by the time I finish that class, girl, it'll be another crash or something. Just my luck is how, Lord have mercy. Yes. Okay. That is amazing.
Yes. It was crazy.
So, okay. So let's talk about this. Okay. So you got started because this man basically said go.
Yes.
But it could not have like been easy. So let me ask you, if you want to be a stager, because there's a lot of people that are really into the whole decorating thing and never thought of staging as being a business. Like, what do you need? Do you have to go purchase a bunch of plants and like, how do you do that? Yeah,
so inventory is important. I think that there's a couple different ways that you can do this business. Okay. So staging, you can either own all your inventory, so you can have all your couches, all your rugs, all your artwork, everything, or you can rent the big furniture and just carry the accessory stuff. So you would just get a U-Haul for whatever you bring into the house and fill in the spots where the furniture goes.
So you had to have money up front to actually start the business?
Not really. So for me, I started the business on borrowed money. I will. I always tell this story because it's a big part of how I got started. So I was married at the time when I started. The girls were going off to college, and my ex-husband had the flooring money. He had control of all of our finances. So my check went direct deposit into our account, but my name's not on it. So I had to ask for anything. If the girls needed anything, if I needed anything, I had to ask for money. I know that's not going to be very popular.
But you know what? That's okay, because that's how we learn, right?
Yeah, that's how we learn. Yeah. And it was a time in my life where I was like, oh, I don't need much, so I'm good. Whatever it is, I'll ask them. It's okay. And we that's just how we operated. Yeah. When I wanted to start the business, I started telling people I was a stager, and this lady investor said, "Hey, I need a estimate. I'm in Rockwall, and at the time we lived in Roy City, so it's like 8 miles away." And I told my ex-husband, I said, "Hey, I need $10 gas to get to Rockwall and meet this lady. It's gonna be my first appointment." And he was like, "Staging? That sounds crazy. That sounds like a waste of time. That's not going to be successful. No, I'm not giving you the money." So this is before Cash App. And my mama had to Western Union me from Singing Hills to Roy City gas money.
Nikki, this man would not give you $10.
$10.
To go. But your mom. So that was your borrowed money.
That was my borrowed money.
$10 gas money. You went to Rockwall and you have this meeting.
I had the meeting. So the lady hired me. So when she hired me, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna get the furniture? Because I done gave her a price.
I ain't even got $10.
I don't have $10.
Yeah.
So I got the price. I just made up a price and I gave her, and she accepted. So she wrote me a check. So now I got money. I don't got no bank account, but I got money. So I had to go figure out how to get that. And I rented the furniture the first time. And then all the accessories and everything I got from my house. So I stripped my house clean. Pictures, every greenery, every piece of everything in there was borrowed from my house. And I rented the furniture from this small rental place in Mesquite. So I had the furniture and I had all the accessories and everything to put the house together. The house turned out good. The lady sold the house quick. She started telling all her friends that, oh, I got a stager. She'll help you. And that's how I got my first money to start buying furniture and accessory stuff to go on to the next job. And
so is the staging business more so word of mouth?
It is very, very word of mouth. And it's people, some people pay for ads and stuff, just like any other business. You can pay for people, for you to be at the top and people can call you. But a lot of times it's just relationships, like whoever you know. If somebody knows a stager, somebody knows somebody that does, or is good at decorating, and they'll call.
I'm going to say again, it's so funny because you do see properties and model homes that are staged all the time.
Yeah.
But you never think about it as a career.
Yeah. Like
right?
somebody's doing that. Yeah.
We know interior designing that people buy their house and they'll bring somebody in, but you never think about the staging aspect. So then once you stage this house, once it sells, you have to take all of this stuff out.
I take it out. So a lot of times if it's already paid for, because I paid for it out of however I got the first job, then I move it to another house and then it's profit. So you're basically making money over and over again on the same stuff.
Wow, just use it. So you taking this plant, for example, if this is a part. First of all, I know she judged this set. Let me look.
It's good. I think I picked this table out. I'm pretty sure.
Did you? Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. So let's take this for example, because this is. I mean, the reality is, we working on a small budget.
Right.
Okay. When somebody says it's cute,
yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
Okay. And you can be 100% honest.
Right.
Right? So, we need some color.
Yeah.
I mean, the greenery is color. Mm-hmm. So, let's talk about it. Like, what if we hired you to come in and give us give my podcast life, girl?
You know what? All you would need, just say the name of your podcast. You know, those lights, everybody doing them at parties and stuff. Even if you just had that would add something, another color in here. And then that would just add something to your set.
That was a nice way of her saying,
yeah.
I'll tell y'all after the podcast.
That's cute. That'll be cute.
You wouldn't do the chairs a different color. Should we do a pop of color for the chairs?
Yeah, that would change it. That would change it from everything being so white. Yeah.
For me, knowing my personality, can you say
oh yeah,
if I had you come into my home and you sat down with me and yeah. I mean, because I'm the type of person, I don't have a vision in mind. I can't say, I want yellow, I want pink.
Yeah, it's a lot of people like that.
So can you tell me what would be my colors, my decor colors?
I think you would be more of a pink person. You would be a rose. Yeah, you would be a pink. You definitely have a shiny, bright. So yeah, pink would be good for you.
Like a fluorescent pink?
I think you would do more of a rose, like a cute little, a softer pink.
Okay, we're gonna have to get some. You're gonna have to tell me where I can get some rose chairs or something.
Oh yeah, we can do that. That's easy.
You see what I'm saying?
That's easy, girl.
Looking it up. Okay, so there are a lot of people that are watching.
Yes,
and they are good at things, and they're like you. They are used to their paychecks.
Yep, security.
And so they're afraid.
Huge. Mm-hmm.
They're afraid to take the jump. You were kind of forced into yours, but now hindsight is 20/20.
Yep.
What would you say to somebody that is probably in your boat, even though you had a job, you did not have any access to the money? So it was, respectfully, it was almost like you had nothing in a sense.
Right.
You didn't have support. What would you say to them? What are some of the steps that they should take to get started in their business?
Yeah.
Would you tell them to jump 2 feet all in, or would you tell them to pace it out? Give them some advice.
I think that a lot of people, like we said, security is a huge thing. So they're fearful, and fear is a choice. You either are afraid and you're going to stay there and you choose to stay there, or you're going to be like, okay, I'm not going to be scared. I'm gonna be a little scared, but I ain't gonna be all the way scared, and I'm gonna choose to take a step. So a lot of people have great ideas and they just stay there, and because they're afraid to fail, they're like, oh, this will never work.
Yeah.
Nobody will be behind me. They're worried about friends and family supporting them. Y'all heard me say the lady called me. She wasn't friends or family. I didn't know that lady. I just said that I'm a stager now, and she found me and she gave me my first job. So you can't rely on your circle to get the business. Perfect strangers are gonna make you a millionaire. So I feel like just jumping out there doing it. I always tell people, I do a lot of now business coaching, and I just tell them, jump out there as far as you can. If you want to do a business plan, you can. I didn't have no business plan. I just went out there. But it's a good idea to have some sort of goal, maybe do a couple goals, but register your business first and just
as an
go.
LLC.
You can do it on LegalZoom. I've done a lot of businesses that way, and just register. I mean, even if you don't do an LLC, go downtown, get an $11 record license, assume name, and start a business. That's all it takes.
So I want to get to the TV thing in just a second. I do want to ask you this. So when you showed up to your first meeting with this lady, what did you take with you? What was the deciding factor that made her hire you? Because you are walking in as a black woman that doesn't have a lot of experience. And I think that's the biggest fear, is that, first of all, the fact that you were already saying, I am a stager. Somebody told me that before, because I do, not on a big scale. See, here I am, like making what I do smaller. But I've done some real estate investing. Yeah. And I remember my coach saying, when you meet people, yes, they're going to know you're on the radio, but you need to tell them, I am a real estate investor.
Right.
He said, because then people will start coming to you with properties and opportunities. And I have hesitated so much because I'm like, I only have like a couple of properties. I only have this one. I don't really know the game enough to call myself that.
Yes,
but you called yourself a stager.
And hadn't done a job.
So what did you take? What did you do? What did you say to make this woman buy into you?
I think a lot of times is, like you said, you minimize yourself. So I walked in there like I had done thousands of jobs. Like today, like I walked in there back then like I am today. And I had so much confidence. When I was talking to that lady, she thought that I had done lots of jobs.
Yeah.
But it was the confidence that I delivered my message. So I told her, hey, I'm going to do this here. I'm walking through the property like I had done this a lot of times. So I think that's one thing that sold her was, oh, she knows what she's doing. Even if I didn't, if I was nervous, I was very nervous, but knowing that I got to make this work. My mom just gave me this money. I got to get her that money back. I got to give her $10 back. $10. So, and even though she don't mind, she have reminded me about this $10 a lot. But
Mama, I give you the $10.
She's like, girl, where's my $10? So that's the big thing, is the confidence. So I told you I rented the furniture from a furniture store. So I go into this furniture store, y'all, and I am like, I'm a home stager. I do this all the time. And I talked to those people. They gave me the best deal. They almost gave me that furniture for free.
Really?
Like literally gave me that furniture. They gave me, I think I paid for the whole house $100 a month to rent all this stuff in this house, and everything else I just kind of filled in. But I walked in there with so much confidence. They believed that that's what I did for a living, and they was like, okay, oh my God, we're gonna do this for you. They delivered that stuff, set everything up for, I'm talking about cheap, and it was just the confidence that I delivered it, and it was just like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I do.
So stop worrying so much about the number or the experience. You sell yourself on confidence.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
Act like you've been there before.
Walk into the room like you have done this.
Yeah.
And people like confidence. They don't like if I'm going in the room with my head hung down and like I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm whispering and trying to tell you something. She probably wouldn't have hired me because she would have felt like, oh, is she really experienced? Does she really know what is she going to be able to help me sell this house?
Yes.
But I walked in like, oh yeah, we can do this here. Oh, people like workstations. We can I was in there selling myself.
I love it.
And that's what got me that first job and that furniture from that place. I walked in there. I do this all the time.
I love it. I love it, Nikki.
I didn't have cards or nothing.
I love it. I love it. Boy, but again, that's how you know you're operating in your purpose. All right, so let's get on HGTV.
Yes.
How do you end up on television? Everybody is always trying to figure out that big break.
Yeah.
Like, what was the moment for you? How did you get chosen? Was it relationship based?
Relationship. So the twins were my clients. Like 5 or 6 years, they've been my clients. And Chris called. So this is my second time going.
So the twins are. So for those that missed the beginning of the episode,
right? Chris and Calvin Lamont.
So those are the twins on HGTV. It's their show.
It's their show. They're the host, and they are. One's a builder and one's a remodeler. Mm-hmm. So they're fighting over the client like Love It or List It. Love It or List It. That lady Hillary works my nerves. But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do it like that. So Chris is trying to build a house or remodel a house, and then Calvin is trying to build a house from scratch. So I love their model of the show, and this was my second run on HGTV. So we were supposed to do a show about staging right before COVID, and then COVID shut our show down. So when Chris called about this show, and I was like, okay, I heard HGTV, I was like, I ain't gonna get excited because I was so excited about the other show.
And you got disappointed.
And I got disappointed. So I was like, I'm not gonna get my hopes up. And maybe about a week later, somebody called me from Canada, and y'all know these car warranty things. I'm like, if this is car warranty, I'm gonna be so mad. And it was the network. So they said, hey, we're calling from HGTV. Chris and Calvin said they want you to be on the show with them. And I was like, oh my God, this is happening. So that was the relationship that I had with them already that landed us there. But I think it's pretty easy now. They're filming so many shows here in Dallas right now. Probably 6 shows on HGTV are being filmed here. My Lottery Dream House, The Redhead up in Frisco. It's about 6 different HGTV shows being filmed here. So it's fairly easy to get on one of these shows right now.
Really? I mean, like,
it's crazy.
What do you mean easy?
So they do they're on the HGTV website. There's a casting section, and if they're doing something in your area, if you submit like, hey, I got a house that I want to remodel or something like that, they'll contact you and say if it fits the mold, then they'll call you to be on the show.
Let me log on to HGTV.com and submit. I ain't got nothing, but okay, that would be good. Well, okay, so obviously with you being on TV, I'm sure business is even better.
Business is crazy. Business was already picking up because the market has changed a little bit. So things were selling really fast in the beginning of the year. Things were like really high price, selling fast. We would have to pick our furniture up in a week. They're like, oh, we got a cash offer. It's time to come get it. Like, we just brought it yesterday,
Yeah.
So it was going really fast. So now things are slowing down a little bit. So we're staging more houses because people are freaking out. Oh, we got to make it look good because people are not buying it. The interest rate got something to do with it and all that. The show has helped because we're, everybody's seeing our logo everywhere. They're like, oh my God, I saw you on the show. So they're starting to call, and we're getting a lot of business from that too. So trying to see what that looks like for season 2 because we're like, oh God, everybody's tired. I got to hire more people. It's just growing. But these are growing pains, and that happens.
But you do get paid to be on the show, right?
Yes. So they pay me. They pay me for my staging services. And so you don't see people. This is something that a lot of people don't know. So if you see a company being shouted out on the credits, so you see their names, they gave a service away. So like you'll see flooring company. That means they donated the flooring so they can get credit on there. So if you don't see a company on there, that means they're getting paid. So everybody else that you don't see their names on there, yes, that means they're being paid.
So your name is not on the credit because you're getting a check.
So they did on the last episode. They did give me credit. I don't know why, but they put my name on the end of the last episode, and they show they're not supposed to show my logo, like my guy's shirts or my truck or anything, but they showed, I think on every episode they showed my truck, which is crazy to me because they're not supposed to do that. And if you're getting paid, you don't get any additional credit. So they call that additional credit.
Well, maybe that's because something is in the works. So do you think that you could possibly be getting your own show?
Well, I am talking to a publicist now. This publicist
okay, you know you big time when you say I am talking to a publicist. Okay,
I'm talking to a PR company, which is nuts. Like, all of this is blowing my mind because I would have never in a million thousand trillion years. They called me and said, hey, they want this company agent wants to represent you. These are the things that they're looking at. They're looking at flooring deals. So lumber liquidators and Shaw and all kind of people trying to get me to do some lines. Girl, this is crazy.
Girl, let me just come hold your clipboard and be like, this is my assistant. Yes, I am. Don't put my name at the end because I need you to cut me a check.
Right, I need some money. I need some money.
Oh my God, that is so good. I mean, like the sky's the limit. You are just getting started.
Just getting started.
Okay. So
crazy.
you've been in business since 2017.
Yes.
I don't even, I'll be asking people about their bank accounts up in here. Are you still making in the millions?
I am making the millions. So 2021, we hit 5 million for the first time.
Look, excuse me, for those of y'all that didn't hear, the producer behind the scenes said, God dog. When he heard 5 million. Okay, yeah, because we be in here doing this for free.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, we hit, for the first time, we hit 5 million. And that had a lot
year?
For the year. Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap.
No, for the year.
I was thinking overall. Since 2017. In 2020. Look, let me say it. God dog. Okay, keep going. Amen.
So let me tell you this story. This is a crazy story. So last year I bought some land. So I've been buying land and doing new construction. So I've been building, and I built some affordable houses in Fair Park and Terrell, just some nice little houses. I like building
generational wealth for your family.
I love the building process. It's the bomb to me. I don't like rehabs. I wouldn't be an investor.
I've never done a build, so I would never know.
It's so fun.
Okay, I'm gonna have to come with you and just see. Yeah.
Yes, you would love it because it's like for a rehab, there's surprises. For a new construction, there's no surprises. You know what's happening. Yeah. You just need to know the order. But other than that, it's good. Yes. I sure will.
You see what I'm saying? I am a builder.
Yes, I'm a builder. So I like that part. So I bought some land in Wills Point, and that's like right past Terrell. And I'm thinking, me and my husband like, okay, we're going to build our dream home, our forever home. That's going to be where we live. So this was January 2021.
And for clarity, this is the new husband.
This is the new husband. This is
not the husband that wouldn't give you the $10. No shade, but yeah.
The good husband. The good husband with a Bentley garage. It's not one Bentley in there. If you got a Bentley garage, it's several Bentleys in there.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's why we made $5 million last year. Yes,
that's where we at. That's the good husband.
Yeah, and he's calling you the good wife.
Right.
Trust and believe.
Right.
Okay. So
he's my official project manager. I fire him every day, but he's on the build stuff. That's what he does. He's out there now. So we were thinking of living in Wills Point. So that's all of our plan. I didn't know how much we had made the year before, like 2020. So my CPA ends up sending the stuff maybe June, right at the beginning of June. And she sent the previous year, like what we made. And it was like in the middle of the night. And I said, oh my God, I made that much money. I said, how much house can I afford? So I get online. I start looking at houses. And I call my best friend. I'm like, girl, I want to see this house. And she said, I didn't think you was looking for a house. I thought y'all were going to build because we got plans made and everything. Mm-hmm. I said, no, I kind of want to look at this house. And she said, okay, I'm going to set up the appointment. We'll go tomorrow. So we went to the house. It was the actual builder in this neighborhood. It was his personal home. Beautiful house. And she said, as soon as we got there, the agent called and said, hey, this house is under contract, but I got another one across the street. And I said, okay, let's go look at the other one across the street. So I'm thinking, I'm in love with this house. It's not going to be better. I don't know if I'm going to like it. So I get up to this other house and I'm like, and going down crazy dark roads. Like it's dark back there. It's bumpy, crazy, like just asphalt. It ain't no pavement. It's a country road. So I go back there. I'm like, I don't know about this. And when I pull up on the street, it's the biggest house at the end of the street. And I was like, is that it? I said, oh, this is the house. So we ended up buying this house. And he was like, I thought we was building. I'm like, well, we're kind of under contract. Nikki, we're kind of under contract because now my eyes are like, I made that much money. Oh my God. We can afford this. So,
you know what? Crazy. You have always had a beautiful spirit. I mean, you've always been so kind. God's light shines all over you, shines through you. I mean, so it's like there's some people that just deserve it and deserve it all and deserve the life that you dreamed of, never thought you had when you borrowed $10, all of that stuff. So you get your $1 million property. So you living in $1 million home.
I am. I love it.
With your Bentley garage.
Yeah, my Bentley garage.
Bentleys.
Can't believe it. Like, mind blowing every day. Just crazy. Wake up and I'll be like, I still live here. Is this not a dream? Am I in Pleasant Grove? You really live here.
She said, no longer in Pleasant Grove. I love that. Well, tell everybody how they can follow you if they want to hit you up for a little bit more inspiration. Your story, what you shared today is outstanding. So, I mean, my takeaway from this, number one, for those that have the gifts, go in with confidence. First of all, speak it.
Speak it.
You called yourself a stager before you ever really had a legitimate business. Before your first client, you told your first client what you were.
Yeah.
So speak it, right?
Speak it.
I would also say walk in with confidence as if you've done this for years is what you also told me. Let me see. I want to do one last takeaway. If I had to take anything away, get a good husband, not that I was just playing. And then the last thing is just be professional and do a great job. Show up every single time.
That's right.
And I think that people work with you not only because you're great at what you do, because you bring a certain energy to it and they want to be around you and they recommended you. We have to stop chasing the celebrity to put us on. Was it a celebrity that was your first client?
Not at all. I don't even know what where that lady is. I don't know anything about her.
So it could be the regular degulars that, and there are no excuses. You start from, okay, my last question, because I know we're over time. How did you know how much to charge? Because that's always the issue.
I really didn't. So I'm sure that I undercharged her, but it was just kind of what I needed at the time. I knew what I needed to cover the furniture from that place and then to make something. So I just kind of gave her a number and she went for it, and it worked out for both of us because she was like, oh, I'm getting a good deal. And, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to make some money on this. Yeah. So pricing is kind of tough. Just look at what your competitors are charging for whatever the service is. So I knew what my competitors, because of course I'm online looking to see, and I was a lot under them, but I didn't need as much. I don't have as much overhead. So I think that was kind of what my strategy was in the beginning. And my business model is totally different from any other stager in our market. That's kind of why we're so high volume and we do so much business, because we're not trying to make $1 million off of every job.
Yeah.
So,
and now you have a big warehouse that you store your stuff in.
We are on Harry Hines in 35. So we're, it's like 10,000 square feet. But I tell people, if it's furniture in that warehouse, it's not making money. So I need to be gone.
Good point.
Find me a house.
Good point. Good point. Man, congratulations. I need you to have you walk. You gonna come to my house, and because my house look like this. Girl, you don't even want to know. Okay, tell everybody how to follow you.
So we're on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. TikTok. Oh, I'm on TikTok now, which is crazy. At The Design Quad like 4. That's it.
And then tell everybody the show that you're on one last time.
Buy It or Build It, HGTV, season 2 coming soon. And other shows.
And other shows. And more money to be made. Nikki, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Right. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for the support. Make sure you subscribe to the Dash Podcast YouTube channel. Also, we're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. And feel free to share with some family and friends. Thanks, guys.